Hello, my friends. Today we're going to talk about Anna O'Brien, or Glitterandlazers, and specifically this TikTok that is real stupid and pretty funny because she is a bad liar. Now, I'm not going to go in depth into who she is necessarily. There are a lot of channels that cover her pretty extensively, like Colin Mockery and Lindsay, and even Salty Crab and a couple of the other gorlworld regulars have been covering her a little bit lately too. But for today, I do want to set the stage for why I think she's lying in this TikTok and what she would gain from that. And the crazy thing is, all the comments on this TikTok are pretty positive. So either she's deleting comments or people on TikTok are delusional idiots and cannot tell when people are obviously lying, you know? So let's just see why she is such a liar and what she would have to gain from lying in this TikTok. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie. So Anna is what I would call the Amberlynn Reid if Amberlynn Reid had ambition, and not in a good way. If Amber was more greedy and money hungry, and if she could get brand deals and sponsorships and wasn't too lazy to use them. Of course, I'm not an expert on Anna by any means, but from what I've seen, she's pretty convinced that if it weren't for the lipedema, she would just be skinny mini. You know what I mean? Her whole persona online for a long time was kind of body positivity, and I'm happy in my body, and I'm exercising all the time. And it was sort of like, it's fat phobia to think that morbidly obese people can't also exercise and be comfortable in their own skin and be able to do everything. She traveled a lot, of course, on companies' dimes. You know, she would get brand deals to travel all over the world. And all the while, her whole shtick was, look at what I can do even though I'm morbidly obese. I am perfectly happy, perfectly comfortable in this body doing all this stuff. So if you think that fat people can't do these things, then you're fat phobic. And from what I can tell, there's still some of that now, but there's a lot more focus on her lipedema now. She basically blames all of her weight problems on the lipedema. Anyway, she basically just had this personality of exercise, travel, body positivity, and brand deals. She does a lot of brand deals, and some of them are a little shady. In fact, I'll show you a couple of examples. So this one, you'll notice it doesn't say anything about Starbucks in the description. It just says hashtag breakfast, high protein, fuel your day, health journey. But it does say, gentle reminder, it's okay to eat. And there's nothing shameful about nourishing your body. So kind of leaning into the whole fat acceptance, body positivity thing. But she's holding a Starbucks cup. And she slaps away the hand going for her egg cups. And she says, I never used to eat breakfast, but you know, I don't want anybody to have my egg cups. So it sounds kind of like an ad, but it doesn't say anything about Starbucks specifically. But here, she is a Starbucks ambassador.
Focus on self-care. And self-care looks different for everybody. So today I'm partnering with Starbucks to show you what a self-care day looks like for me.
So her self-care day is enjoying a wonderful drink at Starbucks, you know. So generally speaking, if Anna has something on her channel, whether it's TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and she's talking about some kind of company or showing a company, 90% of the time, or maybe 100% of the time, she has some sort of deal with them. And sometimes it's not even disclosed, allegedly. So it's a little shady, but one of the more interesting partnerships that she did was with RunLab. And she did this big, long journey, she called it, where she was kind of learning how to run, right? They were teaching her all the right steps and all the movements and how to safely run and stuff, while prominently showing his RunLab shirt every time he got a chance. You know what I mean? So it was clearly some kind of partnership that she never, from what I can tell, she never disclosed. But then she found out that she wasn't actually running.
So I'm technically just walking.
You are super speed walking. But there is nothing wrong with that.
Is that
So they basically analyzed her run and found out she wasn't running, she was walking. You know, that was an interesting time. And the only reason I bring up this arc is just to show her clear partnership or some sort of connection with RunLab, because she did this whole series where she went to RunLab and did all this stuff. And her whole persona was, I'm exercising, even if I'm not losing weight, I'm happy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm fine in my own skin. But eventually she got liposuction and lipedema surgery, basically. But she had pretended for so long that she was not in pain because of her weight, and she was totally fine, and you don't have to be skinny to be healthy, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden she gets this surgery, and there was also an arc where she had been on Wegovy after not saying anything to anybody. So it is not an uncommon thing for her to lie about something and then come out and go, oh, by the way, I was lying, my bad, you know. But this is what she said when people were like, hey, I thought you said you were happy and healthy and you were fine in your body, and then you get this surgery. And this is from Lindsay's video.
I have had a couple like weird DMs and a couple comments about this, and I feel like I just need to like address it because maybe I haven't been clear enough about it previously. But there's been a lot of commentary on like, oh, you did all this traveling, you did a lot of this fitness stuff. I don't understand why you needed to get the surgery. This seems to contradict, you know, the life you were living. And to be entirely candid, it kind of does. And that's because I hid my pain a lot because I was embarrassed.
See, and then just like a liar, you know, after the fact, then they have all these convenient things that they were doing all along that you just didn't know about, you guys. I was hiding the pain. I was traveling and doing all this stuff. And the reason why I not only didn't look like I was in pain, but was actively telling you specifically that I was not in pain was because I was hiding it, because I was embarrassed. So technically, it's not really even a lie, if you think about it, you know? And that's just her MO, right? Is to deceive, deceive, deceive. And then when called out on it, she says, well, but I was doing this for a reason that makes me the victim, you guys. I am not even sorry because it was something that I was doing for a good reason. So I don't care.
Because I felt like it, you know, played into some perceptions of plus size people, of what we are and are not capable of.
This is where I became upset.
And I shared that moment with Lindsay where I became upset because, again, it's the victim mentality, right? Where I didn't act like I was in pain because fat phobia. That's why, you guys. Society. Okay? So this is Anna, right? And of course, like I said, there are lots of videos explaining more in depth kind of a lot of the lies over the years and kind of the things that she does in general. So before I show you the TikTok that we're here for today, I wanted to show you this. So she made a series of TikToks and shorts and stuff about her lipedema surgery team, and it was called Advanced Lipedema Treatment was the place that she went for her surgery. And on these TikToks or these shorts, it says ALT Ambassador. Now, if you click on ALT Ambassador, it's all her. That's it. It's her videos about advanced lipedema treatment. So obviously being an ambassador means that she was getting either a kickback or a free surgery or something. If you look at the comments here, a lot of people are agreeing. She got the doctor who would tell her everything she wanted to hear. A lot of them are kind of clowning on the doctor for making TikToks instead of just being a good doctor. You know, that kind of thing. This one says her and amberlynn always doctor shopping. I'm convinced they're twins. They do act a lot alike as far as their propensity for lying. So on top of the fact that she spent so long saying that I'm obese, but I'm not in pain, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, she starts coming up with these videos shilling for this company who's going to give her lipedema surgery. It's just a little weird. Okay? So that's what brings us to today's TikTok. And I'm guessing on TikTok, she has a little bit of a different audience than she does on YouTube, because on TikTok, they are all kissing her ass. Like, look at how great you're doing. You're amazing and brave and blah, blah, blah. I love you. Go queen, that kind of stuff. But just watch her in this. This is basically showing a before and after her surgery. And if you think about it, she needs to make that surgery team look as good as possible. So she needs to show as big a difference as she possibly can. And I think that's what she's doing here. So watch her in the befores.
Why is this so hard?
So if you watch her face when she does that.
Why is this so hard?
Why is it so hard? You know, it's just overacting.
Surgeries. I actually took video of me doing several like mobility exercises.
The face, it's just so over the top.
Doing several like mobility.
Right? And she had spent all this time running and jumping. Well, maybe not jumping necessarily, but, you know, doing a lot of activity. And doing crazy stuff and laughing while she's doing it, but yet just reaching to her head
Several
is
like
so hard.
mobility
Oh, you guys, that's so hard. Oh.
exercises to kind of
Standing on my toes. Oh, right? She's got to make the face. That's the pain she was hiding for years and years and years. Yeah, okay.
my improvement in a way.
See? Oh, look. Oh, it's so hard, you guys. Oh, I'm holding my foot up. Ooh, it's so hard. The face, like, come on.
Weight. Since it is global.
It's giving, there's got to be a better way, you know?
There's got to be a better way. Introducing.
Since it is Global Lipedema Month, yay! I thought this was a great time.
And she has recently made lipedema her entire personality. That's all there is to her now, is brand sponsorships and lipedema.
To show you my initial progress. I am 8 weeks post my.
See? And this is where the lying and shilling comes in. This is why I think she's over-exaggerating how hard it was so that she can go, oh, it's so hard. But look at me now. Thanks, Dr. Whatever.
Last surgery, and I still have a lot of swelling to
see that. How does anybody buy this? Look at that.
Last surgery, and I still have a lot of.
That is so obviously fake.
Swelling to come down. I still have a lot of stamina to rebuild. I have a lot of flexibility to rebuild.
Oh, you guys, this is, you guys, you have no idea how hard this was. Here's the thing. If I hadn't already seen her doing all kinds of stuff, so you can do this, but you can't do this? Come on, shut up. I won't let me zoom in on the face, but it's just it's such an obvious overacting and lying.
A lot of flexibility to rebuild. So this is really just the start, but already I'm so impressed with just how much better my body is moving.
Look, she's got it.
Holy crap, my stability is really good.
I went up
to so good now, you guys. Thanks, ALT.
Gym to film these today, and I am just kind of blown away because they're a lot better than I thought they would be. I was actually nervous there wouldn't be enough of a result, and if this is just the beginning.
Well, and I think it's for a couple of reasons, actually. Part of it is to show that the surgery team was so good, but also she needs to reassure herself and everybody that there was a reason for her to do this, you know, so that she can be like, you guys, it was completely necessary for me to get these surgeries for free, clearly, in my opinion, but pretty obviously. So anyway, I just saw this TikTok and I thought it was hilarious, and I can't figure out how anybody would buy this. It's so stupid. When she's been doing this. And this was back in September of last year before her surgeries and stuff. So come on. And just so you know, this TikTok, there's gotta be a better way TikTok, was made at the beginning of June of 2025, after all the surgeries and stuff. Don't let her fool you. She's a liar, just like amberlynn Reed. If you want me to talk about some more stuff that she's done, I will start reacting to her, because she's not quite as much of a gold mine as amberlynn. Amber tends to have something in every video that's bonkers and stupid. But every once in a while, Glitterandlazers will just say something and do something that I just think is so dumb. But she is a bad person, a lot like Amber, and she is a liar also. So anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.